The village of Blackthorn nestled itself deep within the shadowy embrace of the eastern mountains, a place forgotten by the hurried pulse of the outside world. Its cobblestone streets wound lazily through thatched cottages, and an ancient church stood sentinel at its heart. Time seemed to pause in Blackthorn, and its residents were content to live within its sleepy confines. But beneath this serene facade, whispers of an age-old curse lingered, passed down like fragile heirlooms from one generation to the next. Blackthorn's lore spoke of a devil who roamed the lands, waiting for the right moment to claim his dominion. He was said to wear the guise of a man, blending seamlessly into the crowd until the final hour when his true form would emerge to unleash ruin upon the world. Most dismissed these tales as superstitious ramblings of the old, clinging to folklore to explain misfortune. Yet, others kept the stories alive, their words laden with dread. It was a crisp autumn evening when the stranger arrived, his silhouette cutting through the amber hues of the setting sun. Dressed in a long, dark coat and a wide-brimmed hat, he strode into Blackthorn as though the world itself parted for him. The townsfolk's chatter hushed as he passed, his piercing eyes meeting theirs with an unsettling intensity. His presence carried a weight that pressed upon the very air, and the village instinctively recoiled. The stranger introduced himself as a traveler named Cale, seeking refuge for the night. The innkeeper, wary but bound by hospitality, provided him a room. Cale paid in gold coins that gleamed unnaturally bright, their luster drawing uneasy glances. He spoke little, his voice a low rumble that seemed to resonate in one's bones. By the next morning, the town's mood had soured. Crops wilted overnight, livestock grew restless, and the air hung heavy with an almost tangible dread. Among the villagers was a girl named Marin, known as much for her kind spirit as for her silence. Born deaf, Marin's world was one of vivid sights and subtle sensations. She communicated with her hands and her expressive eyes, which seemed to carry the wisdom of lifetimes. While others feared the unknown, Marin's curiosity thrived. She watched Cale from afar, her gaze lingering on the stranger who seemed both part of this world and apart from it. Days turned into weeks, and Cale remained in Blackthorn, his presence an unspoken burden. Strange occurrences multiplied, shadows moved unnaturally, the church bell tolled without cause, and the very earth seemed to groan underfoot. The villagers' fear swelled, and whispers grew louder. Some claimed they saw Cale's reflection move independently in the river, while others spoke of dreams where he appeared with eyes of fire and a voice that promised annihilation. On the eve of the harvest festival, the church elders convened in secret, their faces etched with lines of worry. They resolved to confront Cale, demanding he leave Blackthorn at once. When they approached him in the square, their voices trembled as they accused him of bringing darkness upon their town. Cale listened in silence, his expression unreadable. When they finished, he smiled, a slow, deliberate curve of his lips that chilled the onlookers to their course. "You've always known I would come," Cale said, his voice reverberating unnaturally. "Your ancestors bargained with forces they did not understand, and now the debt comes due. Prepare yourselves, for by dawn, Blackthorn will burn, and I shall claim what is mine."